In just a few days, something happened between India and Pakistan that was never seen before. Airstrikes launched, drones crossing borders, and even direct attacks on military targets. And just when it felt like we were on the brink of a full-blown war, suddenly, ceasefire. But here's the real question. Is this the end, or just a break before round 2? First of all, thank you all for the appreciation on the previous video about the PL-15 missile. Yes, I have Time Machine, but it only shows the time. Just kidding, I don't predict the future. I simply analyze the present, using some reliable sources. Sometimes, those insights give us a glimpse of what might be coming. Now let's get into the topic, the recent conflict. It all started like a storm out of nowhere. After the deadly attack on Indian tourists in Pahalgam, many expected India to respond, but no one imagined it would go this far. India initiated deep strikes into Pakistani territory. Not just border skirmishes, it targeted Pakistani cities and military assets. And Pakistan, it didn't hold back either. Pakistan retaliated with equal force, claiming it had destroyed India's primary air defense system, along with other military assets. Within hours, it was raining fire from both sides. But as both nations stood on the edge of something terrifying, the US stepped in. Yes, the same America that had said just days earlier, "It's not our fight." Suddenly, Washington was brokering peace, pushing both countries toward a ceasefire. But why did the US make such a sudden U-turn? Here's the deal. The US had received alarming intelligence confirming that tensions between India and Pakistan were spiraling out of control and could soon reach an unstoppable point. The US has bigger fish to fry, China. Washington needs India to stay focused on countering Beijing, not get dragged into an expensive and distracting war with Pakistan. If India got too tied up in this conflict, America's whole regional game plan could fall apart. Now about that ceasefire, does it really end the war for good, or are we just waiting for the next round? Honestly, the ceasefire seems weak, really weak. Although the terms are still being negotiated and officials from both countries are busy in talks, there's still no clear agreement or solid framework. Even after the ceasefire, both sides are claiming they gave more than they got. The information war from officials could be dangerous after the ceasefire. That's dangerous, because when one side feels it suffered more, or when public pressure starts demanding revenge, things can explode all over again. Even after the ceasefire, both countries accusing each other of violating it, each reporting breaches by the other side. Their decades-old rivalry can't simply end with another ceasefire, because the core issues between them remain unresolved. And for both countries, ceasefires are nothing new. Similar clashes can erupt again and again. However, what's changed this time is the nature of warfare. Modern warfare isn't like the old days. You don't need to move tanks or send large armies. A drone, a missile, or even a cyber weapon can strike silently, and sometimes no one even knows who fired the first shot. Both countries now know they can fight limited wars using high-tech tools, drones, cruise missiles, and hypersonic weapons, without crossing into full-scale war or triggering nukes. That's scary. It means they could keep poking each other, again and again, in a never-ending game of strikes and counterstrikes. So, what's next? Peace might last for a while, but there are plenty of unresolved issues and deep mistrust between these two neighbors that could easily reignite tensions. The both countries' militaries are largely shaped around the idea of fighting each other. The mediation by the US has definitely stopped the war, but the intervention of global powers does not ensure long-term peace unless the disputes are resolved directly by India and Pakistan, as the priorities of global powers change over time. Things could worsen if the US changes its priorities, or if China gains enormous power in the region, as the role of global powers and the tussle among them impact the entire world. It might only take a single incident to push them back into conflict, but this won't be the old India-Pakistan war with tanks and artillery. They've stepped into a new era where drones, cruise missiles, and hypersonic weapons can precise strike deep within minutes and cause massive destruction. Both countries will now likely invest heavily in precision strike weapons and advanced aerial defense systems to outmatch each other. Next time, their militaries may not even need to cross the border, even by aircraft, as they could use long-range guided missiles to carry out strikes from a much safer distance.